This is the Tier 8 American Auto-Reloading Medium, the Astron Rex. It is a vehicle that you can basically get your hands on for free simply by participating in the Atypical event that has been brought back after a year's worth of release into the game. All you have to do is basically play battles, and correlative towards the class of tank that you play, you will get these little tokens associated with that, to which you get Tank Destroyer coins, you get light and medium tank coins, and you also get heavy coins. And varying on how many battles you win or lose, you'll still be gaining a majority of those tokens regardless, to which you can use towards these draws right here. Phase 1, you were able to get 50 certificates for the Astron Rex, along with the legendary camo associated with that as well. And now since Phase 2 has just dropped, you will get the other 50 certificates, and once you are able to get that, then you unlock the vehicle for guarantee. So in terms of the physical stats of the vehicle, it has 120 millimeters of frontal turret armor and 85 millimeters of frontal hull armor. And this is what it looks like. It may seem like it's pretty decent on paper, but in reality, you'll realize that above 185 millimeters of standard penetration, you got two little cheeks that are above 140 millimeters in most cases, along with a ginormous hatch to which you can easily overmatch upwards of 135 to 115, along with the majority of the upper and lower plates being most vulnerable to these shells as well. But when you are using your 8 degrees of gun depression, that's where all changes for the full-on upper infrastructure, as now it's become space and quite angled at above 211 to 226 in most cases. There are some bits of the turret that are also angled as well that can be quite troll at times, which means that you can get the occasional bounce here and there along with that. The hatch can still be visible, as it's still the same in terms of what it looks like on flat ground along with that as well. So making our way towards the side of the vehicle, the side of the turret is upwards of 116 to 122, and then the full-on side is upwards of 20 to 72. And then for the rear, the back is only 50, and then the back of the turret is upwards of 72, to which if you have a high enough HE output, you're still able to deal the maximum amount of damage if you hit it in the right spot, but 50 millimeters of HE is just not enough in order to cut through any bits of the back. Along with that, this vehicle carries 1,880 damage per minute with a 21.78 second magazine reload time with a 3.53 second intra-clip reload time in between your shells. Pen factors are actually quite solid, having 200 on the standard, 252 on the premium, and 54 on the high explosive. Combined as well with a fairly solid 290 on a standard combined with fairly solid average damage ranging from 290 on the standard, 250 on the premium, and a ginormous chunk of the HE sitting at 360, which is actually quite crazy to even think about on a medium tank. Along with 3.9 seconds of aiming time with 0.285 dispersion. Pretty much mandatory to run both enhanced gun-like drive and refined guns so that you can get those accuracy statistics much higher than what they particularly were, because when you're not running them and you can basically get vertical stabilizers down to 3.7, then that can also work too. Can vary on how low of your aiming reticle is, but that's just based upon personal preference apart from that. Along with the maneuverability factors, this vehicle goes 52 forward and 22 in reverse, and has a power to weight of 17 even along with that. So let's go ahead and plop on into a couple of games and see how we can fare well in this vehicle. And up against us, they have a T-54 lightweight, a T-69, and that looks to be all they have in terms of their mediums. So let's go ahead and plop our way over to the right side. We have us a CS-52 and an E-25 along with that. We're going to go ahead and plop on our engine boost, make our way over towards the right side of the map and see what we can spot apart from that. This tank can be quite flexible over those ridge lines as well, so that is something to kind of think about when you want to poke over ridge lines, specifically like this, heading onwards over towards this side of the map. So let us mosey on through and see what we could spot. That's going to push on up over here. We're just going to kind of wait right here. Oh, we got the Challenger already coming on out in the open. There's a nice tap into him for 310. We're going to reload again. Oh, unfortunately missed the second one, which is unfortunate. But we also got the T-69 out in the open. That is actually quite interesting that we bounced that. That was a full-on shot into his weak spot, and it ended up bouncing him very trolly. Alright, so we're going to have to reload our full-on magazine clip once again. The unfortunate part is that it's 20 seconds, and the other unfortunate part is that their full-on team is over here, and we have no support apart from that, so we're just going to go ahead and mosey on out of this danger zone. And it looks like our heavies are pretty much just waiting to the last second to poke on out and try to do their job to the best of their ability, but it's not really ending up to turn out to be the case apart from that. So we're going to mosey on through right over towards this little crevice right here and see what we can get in terms of that. We got the enemy a mill right off to the side. We get one tap into his vehicle. We're going to go ahead. He misses his first shell. Unfortunately, get underneath of his lower plate, which is unfortunate as well. And bounce the third one. That's actually kind of unfortunate to even think about. The good news is that we're reversed pretty quick. This T-54 lightweight did not end up wanting to deal with me in the time being. So we're just going to mosey on through over towards the back right side over here and see if we can maybe take care of this T-54 lightweight or maybe the T-69. Never mind, he gets cleared, and it looks like the 54 lightweight gets plucked as well, to which we're going to be able to finish him off. Alright, so the enemy mill is coming on out now. We also got the AMX M4. It looks like that he's coming on in the back. Let's go ahead and get a quick tap into him for 302, and then we reload our third shell in our intra-clip once again, and go ahead and get the third tap into him. So you can see the advantage of it, especially when the gun wants to work when it wants to, that you can get those high rolls and basically get away with it. Oh, we got an enemy Tiger P off in our back. That is unfortunate. So it looks like that he's not going to be eyeballing me for the time being. So let's go ahead and use our maneuverability factors and get right on in behind him. So moseying in on him. Looks like that we cannot HE him at the slightest bit. Let's go ahead and get one tap into his vehicle. Let's go ahead and get a second tap into him, back on up, and then use our solid gun depression right there and pull up in another one for 290. But as you can see, he pens me right on the side of my gun mantlet, which is actually kind of rad. And it does say apart from the armor profile that that is a troll spot, or one of the angled bits, I should say, apart from that. So we're just going to reload our clip once again and then just mosey upwards. We got the 112 Glacial up top. We also got the Tiger P. We're going to go ahead and plop in a shot for a nice roll of 331. And then we're going to mosey right on in behind of him because the Glacial is in a spot where he cannot use his gun depression to his ability. And we get the nice max roll clearing the Tiger P in the process. So then we're going to mosey onward towards the 112 Glacial. I do not have the gun elevation in order to get a tap into him, which is unfortunate. So we're going to kind of angle our way upwards just a bit. There we go. Another nice solid tap for 327. So like I said before, this gun really works really nice only when it wants to where you can basically get away with those high rolls, especially with the 3 shells that are present in your clip. And just like that, even though we whiffed the majority of our shots, we still managed to break past 3,000 damage. And it really just goes to show that this is a deadly tank with a very solid gun that you can just get away with the majority of those high rolls. 31-22 destroying 2 in the process, pulling out a second class, and that's obviously going to put a stop on the team in that regards. So then let's go ahead and plop on into our second battle and see how we can fare well in terms of that. So occasionally you can get the troll bounce here and there, specifically for the fact that the turret and the upper infrastructure are angled bits, to where if you're unfortunately enough that your gun does not lead you to hitting those little cheeks on the turret and they just fly out into your upper infrastructure, or the upper part of the turret, then you can basically just get away with getting those bounces. So let's go ahead and perfect ourselves in another bit of gameplay. In terms of mediums, they have a Centurion Mark V, an LT-432, a WZ-122, and an AMX-13M24. Alrighty then. So it looks like that we are evenly matched, as we do have a couple bits of mediums along with us as well, and a TD. So that's good news apart from that. So let's go ahead and perfect ourselves and use our gun depression to our ability, poking over this ridgeline, seeing how we can fare well apart from that. Alright, so we already got the LT-432 spotted right over here. Looks like that he is beyond that ridgeline right over there, and it looks like we got the WZ moseying on through as well. So let's go ahead and plop on out. Looks like he is angling the side of his turret, surprisingly enough. So we get a nice tap into you. We got the LT right off to the side. Another nice tap into his vehicle, and there we go. 3 solid taps demonstrating again what the sheer power of this gun is capable of doing. That's 800 hit points combined, which is actually kind of crazy. Penciled in on a medium. All right. Oh, well, it looks like we got the scent off to the side. Oh, yep, there it is. A pretty solid example of the troll armor that this thing does feature. And we did end up getting a bounce apart from his behalf. So we got the scent once again. We're going to mosey up a little bit. I just want to make sure that that WZ is not in the position to where he can peck us off, which is exactly what I'm trying to wait apart from my behalf. So let's go ahead and mosey upwards. Looks like he's not aiming in on me at the time being. Alright, so it looks like he does fire. We also got the AMX off to the side. We get one tap into his vehicle. Let's see if we can maybe get a nice HE into his rear. Just missing. Oh, that's so tragic, bro. Yeah, so, like I said, not that it necessarily matters, but, yeah, this thing at a distance is a little bit rat. I mean, 4 point something seconds of aiming, I think it's 3.9, actually, cannot really lead you towards hitting those distant shots, so that's something that you do gotta kind of keep in mind about from that. Alright, so this guy is still standing out in the open apart from that, so we're reloading our clip once again. We can maybe get a clear into him if that's the case, which we do. That is beautiful. Alright. So then we're going to mosey on up just a tiny bit. We got the smasher off to the side. I want to see if I can maybe get some more pecs off into this guy. Oh, interesting. We got the scent. Ah, so there's the WZ right over there. Alright, so we're going to mosey on over towards this enemy WZ then. And it looks like that he's trying to aim in on me at the time being. He angles his turret. There's another nice tap into his vehicle. And he's going to allow me to get another nice tap into his turret apart from that. Alright, so now I'm going to go on back this way and try to help out my teammate. I don't want that WZ to get on into my rear, and I don't want my T-34-1 to be cleared in the process. So let's just go ahead and mosey onward towards the scent right over here. It looks like my team is doing a fairly solid job of keeping these guys up and preventing them from moving up forward even further. Alright, so we got the WZ right off to the side. He misses his shell, unfortunately enough. We get a nice max roll of 313, and then we're going to go ahead and finish him off. And the T-77, I have no idea what this guy was trying to do, just pushing his teammate out in the open, but he does get a nice tap into our hatch, surprisingly enough. So yeah, that's the problem with having a big hatch, is that with the vulnerability that it causes, especially when you're using your gun depression, that makes it a very major weak spot for the majority of heavies, and doesn't really matter what class of tank it is, as they could just butter through it without a hassle. Alright, good. He bounces us, so we kind of wiggled our way into submission apart from that. So he's going to allow us to get a second tap, as it looks like that he is exposing himself a little bit more, and a third tap along with that as well. Another solid example of the sheer power of this gun. Although the reload time is a little bit long considering the damage output, it's kind of understandable apart from that. So anyways, this T-77 is going to get cleared in the process, and all that's left is an enemy, a Mil 1. To which I think he would probably be over here somewhere on this part of the map, or the far left side if I'm not mistaken. That's where he was spotted apart from the guys that were taking care of this flank over here. So let's just go ahead and mosey on through with our Nebulon. And let's see where this little steak nugget could be hiding. Yep, of course he is off in the back. So let's go ahead and make sure that our aiming reticle is fully aimed in. Of course he moves at the last second, but that is going to allow my Nebulon to get a nice tap and finish him off. Another 3,000 damage in this battle. Another farm fest, I should say so, apart from our behalf. And then we do 3,380 damage, destroying another 2 in the process, pulling out another second class, and that is going to put us top on the team for a second time. And now, let's go ahead and end it off with another solid game, or game number 3, I should say, and see how we can do apart from that. So we're going to be waiting on into the queue system. So, yeah, like I said before, the turret can be a little bit troll at times, especially when you're using your agility factors, or basically just using your wiggling effect with your gun to the best of your ability. And we managed to do that, such case with that T-77. Was able to get one tap, but we perfected ourselves and made sure that he couldn't get the second tap into us with the second shell in his clip. Alrighty then, so waiting. We'll just have to wait and see till then how the next battle will fare well. And battle number 3 is now amongst us. So in terms of mediums, they have a Defender Mark 1 and a Wi-Fi VLC-BIS. Alright, so let's go ahead and plop on over to the right side of the map once again, see how we can do. We have us a Panther with us, so unfortunately he is not going over towards the far right side. It looks like our Semavente is, but unfortunately enough, I don't want to just abandon my medium apart from that, although he is a rapid firer though. But in terms of a Wi-Fi VLC BIS, maybe he could take him on, because the Panther now has troll armor. I might be mistaken, but still, at the same time, I could care less. But anyways, here we go, moseying on through with our Panther, I guess then, seeing how we could fare well, maybe trying to see if we could peck off some guys poking through this side of the map. So, I guess we're going to go wide then, by the looks of it, with our Panther. It's a little bit of a weird positioning. Alright, we got a Tiger 1, or Tiger 2 already spotted, my apologies. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the pen, guys. I mean, he's angled slightly downward, and I don't know what my gun is doing apart from that. Alright, he exposed his lower plate. Well, that's good. Well, the gun seemed a little bit rad again at a distance. Well, that's kind of the unfortunate downside, is that you pretty much just have to be in a position to where you are basically face to face or within like a certain vicinity in order to peck off your enemies. So we're reloading again. Oh, it looks like the tiger spotted us. I don't know how he hit that shot. That is incredible. Well, we get a nice tap into him. We got the Yad Tiger. It looks like this guy wants to tunnel us now. Oh, unfortunately missing the second shot. Alright, so we're just going to mosey on through then and see if we can get a nice tap into the side of his turret. There we go. And there's 700 hit points brought out of his vehicle. Alright. Well, not 700 because we basically just misfired the first shot. Or the first 2 shots, I should say. Alright, so reloading our clip once again. That is the unfortunate part of having a 20-second reload time. So, alright, he does get cleared. That's really good. Alright, and then we're going to mosey on towards the Tiger 88 centimeters. Let's go ahead and mosey on through and finish this guy off as quickly as possible. We also got some more enemies that are poking on towards the side. So let's just go ahead and quickly mosey on through towards the center of the Yacht Tiger. Get the solid clear into him, and then we continue. Oh, there is a Yacht Tiger. Well, we could demonstrate the HE schematics of this vehicle and get a nice fire and a max roll along with that. Holy cow, that was an insane chunker, or 2 chunkers, I should say, into that enemy Yad Panther. Didn't know what to expect, and he tried to perfect himself by abandoning the flank, and it didn't really end up in his favor. So, let's go ahead and mosey on through. It looks like our Semavente got clear, which is unfortunate. So I guess we're going to have to mosey on through with our Panther then, right in behind these guys. See how we can fare well apart from that. We got the Chrysler K along with the Scent, I think, is over here too. Or the Defender, I should say. Alright, we're going to mosey ourselves right up along this little portion. Let's see, is this Chrysler right along this little flank area? Ah, there he is. Alright, so let's go ahead and mosey on through and use our gun depression once again. Okay, if my ping doesn't screw me. Well, that's the good thing, is that Chrysler didn't end up missing me. So, let's go ahead and plop in another shap into him, and then we're going to back on up slowly. Unfortunately, get the bounce on his upper plate, but it's not really going to matter. Or maybe it will. I don't know. So, we're just going to go ahead and use our solid maneuverability, and then just kind of just plop ourselves in a hold down spot right here, so this guy has a little bit of trouble trying to hit me in the process. So, yep, there we go. Nice solid bait apart from that. And we are reloading our 3 shells in our clip. We're going to go ahead and get 1 tap into you. It's not going to really matter, Chrysler, as you're screwed anyways, good sir. So, oh, can't pen him anywhere. It looks like that he angles. We get another nice tap into his vehicle. And let's go ahead and clear him with the last shot. And just like that, 3 fairly solid games demonstrating the positive factors that contributed towards this hard-hitting medium. And we were able to break past 3,000 damage for yet again a 3rd time. 3150 this time, pulling another second class. That's 3 second class ace tankers in a row, and 3 top on the team, surprisingly enough. And I can just go to show that these games were not cherry-picked. I literally just hopped on in recently. So here it is, 3122, 3380, and 3150. And just like that, really just goes to show that this is a very hard-hitting vehicle, and it can be quite troll at times. And it really just wants to work only when it wants to. I mean, I say that because I have the worst RNG. Duh. So, hopefully you guys did end up enjoying today's video on the other hand. And if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And make sure to turn on those bell notifications while you're at it so you do not miss out on any new videos. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.